Last time on What If Trunks went back in time to save the Saiyans, Trunks, alongside the help of Bardock, defeated the evil Frieza by transforming into Super Saiyans. But the celebrations were short-lived, as the Heaters tricked Trunks into going to another planet, Cereal, to challenge King Cold, only to be ambushed by Cooler. Though Bardock came to Trunks' help, they only barely managed to escape with the Namekian Monito, his Dragon Balls, the young Granola, and the last two remaining Heaters. Now the Saiyans prepare for the worst, as King Vegeta summons them to his castle. The invasion begins now. Home away from home. What if Trunks went back in time to save the Saiyans? Part 3. Fear and uncertainty hangs heavy in the air. How long would they be free for? Trunks and Bardock see the terror and doubt on people's faces. It was a stark contrast to the looks of jubilation and excitement everyone had after Frieza's defeat. When Bardock and Trunks return home from gathering intel about Cooler, they return to find Granola playing with little Kakarot. As Trunks and Bardock sit down to unwind, Granola approaches Bardock. He tells him that he's sorry. Bardock is confused at first, but Granola explains that he heard about what happened to his people and his mother from Monito. He harbored an intense grudge against the Saiyans for such a long time and blamed Bardock for killing his mother, but he was wrong. Bardock remains quiet for a bit before he closes his eyes. He apologizes for not being strong enough to save his mother. If he wants to honor his mother now and his people, the best thing he can do is simply survive and live a good, long life. Granola and Bardock smile as Trunks looks on proudly. The young boy had come far already. Monito realizes that this kid really can be trusted and approaches him slowly. He had been able to get the Dragon Balls the Heaters used on gas before the planet exploded. Remember, these Dragon Balls don't turn into stone like the usual ones. He asks if they could use these to defeat Cooler. Trunks thinks it's possible and thanks him for doing it, but that his mission right now is to teach the Saiyans to defend themselves. They will keep the Dragon Balls around, just in case. But as he learned the hard way in the future, you can't rely on them. However, not long after that, several guards approach Guine's shop as they announce that the Super Saiyans have been summoned. They were to meet the king immediately. Guine is worried, but Bardock tells her that he'll be fine. He goes in for a hug, which catches Guine off guard, but Bardock whispers in her ear to stay on guard and protect Kakarot. Without another word, Trunks and Bardock leave. Soon, the pair arrive at the castle and enter the throne room. King Vegeta welcomes the Super Saiyans, congratulating them once again for defeating Frieza and liberating their people. The king states that they must have heard rumors by now. Cooler has returned, and his presence threatens everything the Saiyans have come to work for. It was time for the Saiyan race to stand together, united against this new threat. Trunks stays quiet as Bardock questions why the king is suddenly so willing to stand by his brethren. He no longer cares about the caste system. King Vegeta chuckles, claiming that something like that doesn't matter anymore in the face of this greater enemy.
You two have proven to me the potential of the Saiyans are limitless. More than that, it is our birthright, our destiny to rule. We will overcome Cooler, and when we have wiped out this final thorn from our side, we will be able to conquer the universe without any worries.
What? That's crazy. I only ever fought because I wanted a good fight. I'm sick and tiring of conquering worlds. Frieza's gone now. We don't have to go back to that life anymore. Bardock's right. This is a huge mistake. Please, my king, reconsider this madness. We'll be more than glad to lend a hand, but we won't be taking over anyone.
This is a disappointment to hear. I had hoped you two out of everybody would understand my vision for our people. I was wrong. You both are not the real Super Saiyan of legend, merely false prophets. I thank you for defeating Frieza, so I will grant you some mercy. Your execution will be swift and painless. Guards, take the traitors.
Several guards surround the pair as Bardock tells everyone to stand down if they know what's better for them. Did they really think they could take out two pairs of Super Saiyans? A purple flash of light suddenly flies past the guards as Trunks barely has time to slap the blast away. The side of the castle is blown apart as Prince Vegeta appears with a smug grin and a golden aura. It's finally time to prove the power of a super elite. Trunks tells the prince to stop, but his pleas fall on deaf ears. He clashes with Trunks, eager to prove himself to the Super Saiyans. Bardock fights off the guards with relative ease, but as he attempts to assist Trunks, King Vegeta erupts his own power, enveloped by a golden aura. Just like his son, King Vegeta dashes forward with an elbow strike. Bardock catches it as the king declares that he wants to experience his power for himself. Bardock grits his teeth. He never could have expected the king and his son to unlock the power of Super Saiyan so quickly. The king chuckles. Of course they would achieve the legend. They're the strongest of the elite. Bardock and Trunks battle against the royal guards, limiting themselves as to not accidentally kill anyone. Trunks decides to end this madness, bursting into Super Saiyan as his aura pushes back the prince. Trunks demands that everyone ceases fighting. They need to work together against Cooler. However, King Vegeta grins as he says that the weak cannot control the demands of the strong.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video thus far. If you like this sort of content and want to see more and support the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon. There, you can help support the channel through various tiers while getting some perks of your own. As a Patreon, you will help get the videos out faster, fun thumbnail art, editing, and even writing for videos. Overall, this is the best way we can ensure to keep providing you guys with awesome content. Plus, you get some neat perks like a bonus mini podcast, early access to videos such as this one, and more. So be sure to go to patreon.com/SmugStick and consider supporting the channel. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Become a Patreon!
And now back to our show.
Trunks' eyes widen, sensing a massive power and turning around to see just a little boy.
Broly, these are our enemies. They dare to threaten your king. Attack.
Trunks blocks the incoming punch from Broly, and the resulting shockwave shakes the entire castle. Bardock and Trunks' eyes widened. This power was unreal. Bardock attempts to help, but he's stopped dead in his tracks by the king and the prince. Without much of a choice, Bardock turns into Super Saiyan, cracking his knuckles and saying that he's more than happy to take both of them on. Although Bardock is able to beat back the Vegetas, Trunks is having a hard time against Broly. Even without Super Saiyan, this boy was strong enough to contend against the powerful Super Saiyan 2. Not only that, with each attack Trunks launched, it seemed like Broly was learning as he fought. Trunks was able to grab Broly and spin him into the throne. Ultimately, this only served to anger Broly even more, his rage soaring to the sky. More and more guards enter the throne, with Trunks and Bardock looking at each other. They had no option, they had to retreat. There will only be more casualties. Trunks screams at Bardock to close his eyes, as he says, "Solar Flare!" A bright light consumes the castle, giving them enough time to retreat. They knew it now. They were criminals, wanted by the Saiyan race. Trunks and Bardock quickly made their way home, shutting the doors behind them and telling everyone to pack their belongings. The Heaters were confused about what's going on. Bardock says that they won't have time to focus on defeating Cooler if they're busy fighting the rest of the Saiyan race. As Gina and Monaito pack supplies, Granola messages Oatmeal in his wrist communicator. They couldn't risk bringing the ship to the village. Instead, he commanded it to the forest. They all rush out, escaping into the forest. They arrive to a clearing where the ship had been waiting, decloaking as Trunks and Granola place their friends inside, but a voice echoes in the forest, demanding them to stop right there. Raditz. Bardock damns the world. He knew his son was crafty, but he wasn't expecting him to have anticipated their plans. Raditz tells his father to give up. The Saiyan army are already on their way. They should simply join their side and follow their Saiyan instincts. They were meant to rule. Bardock barks at his son, telling him that Saiyans aren't destined to be killers. They could make a new path for themselves. Raditz squints, saying that the prince was right. His father had gone soft. Saiyans swarm the forest as Trunks and Bardock yell at Granola to go in with everyone else. Protect the ship no matter what. Their ki explodes into Super Saiyan 2. The massive increase of power causes scouters of every single Saiyan in the forest to explode as the king arrives, bursting into Super Saiyan as well, and commanding his army to attack. The forest descends into a war zone as dozens of ki blasts shoot down. Trunks deflects as many as he can, but as the forest is set ablaze, Bardock realizes that there's nothing they can do. The prince soon arrives with Nappa and Broly to support Raditz. Though Nappa, Raditz, and the prince were simply annoyances, Broly was a huge problem. Bardock manages to push them all back for just long enough to turn around and tell Trunks to get away. Trunks had just finished defeating the king with a powerful strike. He wanted to protect protect his friend and help him out. Bardock looks to the sky in surprise. He was sensing the key of others. Tora, Fasha, Shigesh, and the rest of Bardock's squad had arrived. They stand behind Bardock and asks if he needs a hand. Bardock smiles, and Fasha nods at him. They were a squad, and they fought together no matter what. Bardock insists on Trunks leaving.
You need to get out of here, kid. My squad and I will protect the ship.
But I can't just leave you guys.
If you get caught now, then there will really be nobody to save the future Saiyans. Escape and live. Your only hope. Promise me you'll keep Gine and Kakarot safe, and then run to Granola too. Promise me.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
Glad to hear it. I'm betting everything on you. Now go, because this is gonna change everything!
Granola's ship blasts off as the Bardock squad was the last stand against the Saiyan army, but they're slowly and ultimately defeated. Bardock had to run out of power, exhausted from the ongoing slaughter, and a final headbutt from Broly. Nappa walks up to the king, requesting orders. King Vegeta pauses for a moment, declaring that despite their insubordinates, they're still incredibly powerful. These 5 Saiyans alone are worth 1,000 others. They would prove to be useful in the incoming war against the cooler forces. They shall be placed in a dungeon and equipped with shock collars similar to Broly. King Vegeta turns around, nearly slapping Bardock in the face with his cloak. The age of the Saiyans was finally upon them. Far away, deep into space, a lone ship hovers in the black void. Trunks, Gine, Kakarot, Granola, Monaito, and the Heaters escaped planet Vegeta. But at what cost? Granola turns to Trunks, asking where they're going now. The young Saiyan says a simple word: home. On a peaceful, blue and green planet, an old man is outside of his laboratory, taking a smoke break when a large ship descends from the sky. It lands nearby, with the old man immediately noticing the Capsule Corp logo on the teenager's jacket, welcoming him and asking him if he was a fan of his company. Trunks' eyes widened. This must be his grandfather. He panics, stuttering as he replies yes, he's a huge fan of Capsule Corp. His mom used to work there. The old man chuckles. She must have been a real smart lady to build a ship like that. He notices the rest of the ship's occupants and how exhausted they all are. He introduces himself as Dr. Briefs and invites everyone inside to rest. Maybe he could even take a look at the ship. Trunks is surprised to see how willing he is to help strangers, let alone space aliens. But Briefs says that his family is well acquainted with aliens. Trunks smiles, thanking him and taking the offer. As he looks at the damaged ship, his wife brings cookies to the tired travelers. While the Heaters and Granola fight over some cookies, Trunks stares intently at the scientist and his wife. He eyed the couple curiously. He never knew his grandparents, but he saw pictures of them, and his mother would often talk about them fondly. His mother, could she be here too? Sure enough, Trunks hears a gasp as he turns around to see a little girl looking in amazement at the spaceship. The blue hair and that look in her eyes when she sees something exciting, there was no doubt about it, that was Bulma. Trunks nearly cries, but he manages to hold back emotions as he looks around. This city was so colorful and bright, nothing like the West City he knew in his timeline. Trunks looked down at his feet in silence and melancholy. He only wanted to save Son Goku and the Saiyans, yet all he's done is cause far more damage to this timeline. He was able to defeat Frieza, but not Cooler, and even that little boy Broly. He failed to stop King Vegeta, he failed to save Bardock. Had he finally failed his mission? Were the Saiyans fate to die? Seeing how distraught Trunks was, the little Bulma walks up to him and asks if he's okay. Trunks tries to say that he's fine, but even as a kid, Bulma doesn't buy it. He admits that he's feeling a little down because he messed some things up big time. Bulma thinks for a minute and says nonchalantly that she messes up all the time, especially with her experiments. But her mom and dad tell her that it's fine. They say that as long as you never give up, you can always figure out a way to make things better. Trunks' eyes widened, thinking back to his own mother and how she would tell him the same thing. No matter what age it is, you always know what to say. You're right, I shouldn't be sitting here sulking. Not when there's still a chance. Thanks, Mom. Bulma, I really needed to hear that. More than you know. Trunks is renewed with determination. He will never give up. There's always hope to be left. Hope is the last thing that's lost. As the Briefs continue fixing their spaceship, Trunks trains Granola a little bit further. He encourages the kid, saying that even if they fail again, as long as they survive, there will always be hope to keep fighting. Trunks also further refines Super Saiyan 2, knowing there's a power beyond it, but doesn't understand how to tap into it just yet. Some time passes, and it's as Panchi teaches Gine and the Heaters how to bake that Dr. Briefs announces the spaceship had been repaired. Trunks walks inside and sees a crudely drawn Hope on the side. Bulma puffs her chest, saying that she was the one to draw it. Everything had been fixed, even Oatmeal's AI, and that same AI warns them of something. After decrypting several messages, Oatmeal discovered Cooler's plan to invade planet Vegeta and eliminate the Saiyans once and for all. In fact, Cooler's armada was headed to the planet this very moment. It was going to be an all-out war. Everyone's stunned, and they all turn to Trunks. He says that he's going to stop Cooler once and for all, by himself. However, Granola Monaito Gine and even the Heaters refuse. They want to help Trunks and save Bardock, and they won't take no for an answer. The Heaters simply say that they want revenge on Cooler for killing Alec and Gas. And, well, they did save their lives twice now. It was time to return the favor. Trunks smiles proudly, reassuring them that he won't be going alone. This wouldn't be like when he fought the androids. He'll have allies to support him. They couldn't afford to lose. Gine asks the Briefs to take care of little Kakarot, and they happily agree. They'll be waiting here for them to return. Trunks tells everyone to get on board. They have a war to win. Before they leave, Dr. Briefs whispers to Trunks, reminding him not to forget about their little chat. It'd do him well to meet his old friend. Trunks shoots him a thumbs up, telling him he's on it. The Briefs cheer on the heroes as they blast off, Panchi making Kakarot wave a cheerful goodbye. With hope in their eyes, Trunks knows they'll be able to save Planet Vegeta once and for all. Next, what if Trunks went back in time to save the Saiyans? Thanks for watching, everyone. This episode was edited by Rajmain and largely written by Professor Chimp. Thank you for your help again. And the thumbnail was done by Brandon_edits. This one was a lot of fun to make, and the next part will be up next week if this one gets 3,000 likes. So be sure to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and click the bell icon so you never miss the best Dragon Ball stories out there. This video wouldn't have been possible without you Patreons. So thanks to all of you. And remember, you get to watch videos like this early if you join the 3rd tier. So shout out to you guys: Zachary Carlock, Mika Liley, 3 Kaiser, Ricardo Rodriguez, Shane K, JP Law, Angel MR, True Lightning Striker, Squad 100, Ghost 1571, PJ9D the 3rd, Lee Urquides, Daddy Bear 103, Orange Bag YT, Trent Rolls, Demon Plays 22, Jim G, Jerome Foster, D Miles, The Gaming Galaxy, Dakota Kaiser, Salil Paranjape, Keith Grimes, Celestia, Dreadpool, and Samuel Randall. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and until we meet again, see ya!